back to Clarity Code, and today we are going to be speaking about something that most people do not realize, okay, which is emotions that speaks long before thought does. And what I mean by this is whatever you call as intuition or irritation or contraction or expansion, all of it is language. And once you learn to read it, your life starts making so much of a sense.
Hi everyone. So what I have noticed, Priya, in my work as well, this emotion is the body's first broadcast.
Mm,
Okay. And
mm.
it is the first signal before you even realize that you have been feeling something. Okay. Your fascia, your breath, your micro movement, those little small movements, your gestures, I feel like they have already spoken. People think that emotions are being dramatic, but I feel like it is clean, precise data.
Absolutely, absolutely. And that is
Yeah.
exactly why in today's episode, we're going to be breaking down how emotion communicates even before your mind interprets it. Okay. Second is we're going to learn how to read the subtle micro signals that your body is sending. Third, we're going to learn why misunderstandings can happen when we listen to the thought instead of the sensation. This is the most important pointer, the last one that I mentioned. And I'll also tell you who is this topic specifically for. Okay, so this is almost like a checklist for you to look at, oh, do I fit into these categories? And if I yes, then I need to stay back. So this episode is specifically for those of you who say, I don't know why I react like this, or I wish I could have understood myself better. Now, if you have ever felt confused by your own emotions, or if you jump into fixing without understanding the feeling, then this will make things so much more clearer for you.
Absolutely. And I feel it's also for people who pick up everything. They're like sponges. Okay. They pick up what is happening in the room, the silent tension that is there in their surrounding environment, the unspoken cues, and then they doubt themselves because nobody taught them how to read emotional language. So I feel like today's topic is very important to dissect in order to know how can we read emotions in resonance with our body.
Absolutely. And this is for anyone else who also would want a healthier relationship. And when I say healthier relationship, it is in general, okay? Because most of the common misunderstanding is not because there is a lack of love or there is a lack of anything else, but there is a lack of understanding, and that is what breaks most of the bonds.
Okay, so if you're someone who feels deeply, guys, if you're someone who thinks a lot or wants to respond instead of reacting, please sit back, relax, grab a cup of tea or a coffee, and enjoy. So let's move on to the emotions. Why emotions speak before thought? Okay, so mostly people, Priya, I've noticed mostly people think they are reacting to a situation. Okay, but actually they are reacting to a sensation in their body, as I mentioned previously. Okay, but the mind later turns it into a very different story. Okay. And for me, the turning point came when I realized that my body doesn't wait for any kind of permission.
Mm.
Okay. And it records everything, the tone, the intention,
Yeah.
the sincerity. It is in nanoseconds. Everything is happening in the nanoseconds. So my thoughts always arrive late. Okay. I would react
Mm.
like immediately. I would react and then blame myself later on. Why did I shut down? Okay, why did I do that? Why did I withdraw? And for years, and I had this loop, literally, I had this loop of rejecting my own default innate behavior, my innate knowing, and thinking I was too sensitive and I was overreacting. And what I didn't realize was that my nervous system was reading the field around me
Yeah.
before my mind even could interpret it.
Yeah.
And I was, now I understand that I was experiencing emotional accuracy. It
Mm,
was not an error.
true, true.
Yeah. So if guys, if you have ended up calling yourself reactive, when in reality you have been responding to information, nobody taught you to trust.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not at all hypersensitivity. Please know that. It's emotional accuracy, and that hasn't been decoded yet by your system. Okay, so you were emotionally multilingual in a world that only speaks in suppression, right? And this episode gives you the language for a skill you have always had, your innate skill. So,
So think
yeah.
of like if I have to just take away two things from what you said, Alicia,
Mhm.
it's
Mhm.
mostly your thought is a narrator and your emotion is the data. So
Yes.
if you're somebody who walks into a room and
Mhm.
can instantly feel heaviness or can instantly feel activated, know
Mhm.
that that is the emotional body scanning the field even before the mind can reason with why am I feeling the way I'm feeling, because there are a lot of us who can do that, and then we turn around to our friends like, don't you feel the room is like this, and they'll be like, what
Yeah.
are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So I think in decoding terms, so the first step is reorganizing and understanding this order. Okay, so it can be put this way: sensation,
Mm,
okay, emotions,
mm.
interpretation, then the final behavior. But people skip straight away to the behavior or interpretation. So
Yeah,
that's a thing.
that is why we misunderstand or we misread, not misunderstand. We misread so many situations, right? We overreact. We completely shut down. That is because we are operating on the story and not the signal. Okay, so what we're going to do today is we're going to break down and give you subtle cues as to how you can read these signals.
Yeah.
So these are most commonly emotional micro signals that we usually ignore. The reason why we're giving you these cues is so that you go from a space of reaction to response, because every time you react your nervous system goes through a lot of chemical discomfort. The
Mm.
minute you start slowly stepping into response, there is more calm, there's more flow. And that's the reason why we're giving you these cues. And these are cues that we have picked up when we have been talking to people or, doing these trainings or working with clients. So you're welcome to break down or listen to how we are going to break down these cues. Alicia, you want to go with the first one?
Okay, yes. So I'll go with the most common one.
Hmm.
Some people say, I am feeling a contraction in the chest, okay, when they move places. So, guys, this usually means a boundary is being crossed, or you don't feel safe in that environment. But most people think they are being dramatic, they are overthinking, something is happening with their body, they are sinking, panic is, it is rooting. So you have to observe all these cues in your body as to what is happening around you. Okay. Another cue I would like to add on over here, that is, uh, they have a contraction in their whole upper body, even in the bowel area as well. Okay. So sometimes you might have seen people lean back while they are talking. Okay, so that is a signal of tiny withdrawal, that you are not that much comfortable in that environment, or you disagree with what they are saying. So, if you learn to understand the cues that your body is saying, I feel like it is going to be the base of your emotional intelligence.
Mm, mm.
Yeah.
Amazing. I'm gonna go to another very common one. So when and here I don't want to pick the other person. I want to pick you. Okay, when
Hmm.
you listen to something which you don't completely agree with, or you are completely rejecting, the first sign that shows in your body is your jaw tightening. So you sometimes bite your teeth, you can feel the sensation here, or you press your tongue either against the upper palate or just towards the side of your mouth. Okay, now when you do this, what it means is that you're suppressing, this is suppressed truth. What I mean to say is, the statement you wanted to say something. So when
Hmm.
you're listening from somebody else, there's something that somebody said which you know is not right, but then you
Okay.
are unable to speak up your truth. And when you're unable to speak up your truth, you do this bodily reaction.
Hmm.
Okay. So
Hmm.
it is something that you withheld because you are afraid of conflict. Or sometimes you might not be afraid of conflict. Sometimes you might feel that if I say, then this is going to become a longer discussion, and hence I don't want to get into this.
Yeah.
So this is another very common sign.
Yeah. Right. And next one is sudden irritation. And that is again a very common thing. Most of the people say, I feel irritated today and not that comfortable, not in a mood to talk. So often, please understand, it's not anger, it's your body signaling misalignment, maybe your unmet needs. And you have these can be the needs that are not being met in the recent days, last hours, last weeks, or maybe last years. Okay. So, or emotional overstimulation that you have been going through. So, altogether, this creates baggage and pressure in your field.
Mm,
So, hence the irritation. And there is opposite too that I have observed, Priya. That
mm,
is micro softening. So, this is a bit tricky. When your shoulders drop, okay, when your breath it deepens around someone or something, that means that's not weakness. Okay, that's you are being relaxed. Okay, you feel okay in that environment, right? So that is how you can read your body signal. Okay, that uh, I'm comfortable here or not comfortable here,
mm.
right?
Okay.
So yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna pick another very common one, okay? I want to say common, but it might not look so common, which is numbness.
Mm.
There was a very famous song from Linkin Park called Numbness. I used to love that song, and I know a lot of people who love that song. And you know what is a common denominator between all of us loving that song? It's because of our emotional overload. Okay, that is, we look very calm because we are so numb of everything happening around us, and we don't know what to do anymore. And hence, for that don't know what to do anymore is the emotional overload. And that is the only way that your body is protecting you when something is too much, something is too fast, something is too soon. So it is your shield. Feeling numb is a shield. Okay. I want to get into why it's not such a great thing, and we will as we are going forth in this episode and the episodes to come. But then, yeah, numbness is another very common thing.
Okay. So if you guys learn to see these as information, all these subtle cues, instead of misbehavior, instead of misalignment, your relationships would change instantly. Okay. So most subtle cues, they are not very loud, right? They are 1 second shifts, even lesser than that, but they are the most honest thing about you. I know you might be feeling a sigh of relief inside you while listening to us right now. So just keep this in mind that your body is a very intelligent being, and it is not different than your emotions.
Mm,
So please observe your body as well when you are experiencing emotions. Priya, I've seen people that some of them they puke as well in certain environments. I've experienced this in last 1 week. I have been to so many places and my body has been rejecting those environments. So that was the result of overstimulation that I had. So
mm,
I have pinpointed that. Then I decided to rest.
mm.
So that's how you can operate in a very conscious manner.
See, that happened, Alicia, because you're very aware and attuned to what is going on in your body, and it is easy for you to identify now compared to
Yeah,
before as to,
yeah,
okay, why am I feeling this way? Am I feeling this way for X reason or Y reason, right? So
that's
what we're
true.
going to get into is how do we read these emotions? Okay,
Emotions.
so
Okay.
why do we misread emotions is what we're going to get into. Now, the core problem, if I have to say, is that your body will give you clean signals, all right? But your
Hmm.
mind is only relating it to the conditioned story. So
Hmm.
I'm gonna explain this a little bit.
Okay.
Let us say that uh, as a child, when we have an idea, we've gone in and expressed this to our parents or our siblings. All right.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
when, let's say, a 7 year old or an 8 year old comes up and gives their parent a brilliant idea of, Mama, can we do this? Or Papa, can we do this? And the father and the mother, let's say, they are not in that mind space to indulge with the child, they might just reject that whole thing in one way or the other. They might
Yeah.
not reject the plan as such, but they might reject the enthusiasm that the child has at that point in time. If this happens multiple times, then, like, let's say it happened first time, fine, the child is gonna like let it go. Okay, okay, they're busy. Happens the second time, happens the third time, keeps happening. Then the child is like, I'm not going to go show these ideas to anybody because they really don't respect it.
Hmm.
As a child, the child realizes that, and when the child becomes an adult, think about the kind of emotion that person will have to even put forth their ideas, let's say in work environment, or let's say in a relationship, or let's say in a project that they are working, right? So, what I mean by the mind adds a conditioned story is when you're an adult and when you want to put across an idea, your mind adds a conditional story that, hey, when you were a child, you've been rejected multiple times. So, as an adult, I don't want to take the effort. You get guys getting what I'm saying? So we're gonna pick up on such things for you to for you to understand why we misread emotions. So this is a reason, the core reasons, and we're gonna pick up a few instances.
Yeah. So I'll take this story only. Okay. So
Mm,
I want to pinpoint some body cues in
mm,
this one.
mm,
Okay. So in this situation, the child or any a person who is expressing their ideas or emotions or something that they have worked upon, when
mm,
they are rejected or denied,
mm,
they might feel tightness in their body.
mm,
And if this is repetitive in nature throughout life, maybe in their childhood years, teenage years, this could sink in the mind very differently. Like, uh, maybe they don't like me. Maybe this person doesn't like me. Maybe my parents don't like me. So, this is your mind interpreting what you're feeling in your body. But the real signal might be very simple. Okay, that you're not, this idea is not respected here.
mm,
So your body speaks its truth,
mm.
right? And your mind translate that version into a thing that once kept you safe.
Yeah.
Okay, this is the conditioned story that Dia mentioned. So we always incline towards the safest emotions, I would say.
I'll continue then with the same example, okay? So let's say you're an adult now, okay? And you have this brilliant idea and you go put it forth in front of your higher officials and they actually like the idea. All
Mhm.
right. When they like the idea, what you're going to feel is a kind of expansion that you have never felt because your mind has created this story that you're not respected, your idea is not good, I'm not enough, they don't like me, and all those things. And then when suddenly somebody accepts this idea, you're like, amazing. That is just for a millisecond, guys, because the very next moment you're gonna feel that, oh fuck, this cannot be true. This is too good to be true. Okay?
Yeah.
This is what you'll feel. This is what your mind is going to say that, oh fuck, this is too good to be true. But then the reality of the thing is that you're finally feeling safe. And when you're feeling safe, that personality within you who's protected you for all this while is saying,
Yeah.
this is too good to be true, dude. So take your time. You know, it's trying to protect you from another heartbreak.
Mm. Yes. So that's why, Priya, we can say that why two people can feel the same sensation,
Mm,
but tell different stories about it, completely different. And the signal is pure, the story is inherited.
Hmm.
And it varies from person to person. This
Yeah.
is why emotional literacy is not about becoming less emotional. Please note that. It is not about becoming less emotional, it's about becoming accurate,
Yeah.
right?
True.
So,
True.
I think let's add on some practical decoding things as well that
I think
people
I'm going
think.
to give a very simple way of decoding this. Okay. This
Okay,
is going to be
okay.
very simple. So grab a pen and paper if you have, guys. This is going to be like a three-step framework that you can use for decoding your emotions before it becomes thought. Okay.
Hmm, hmm,
First step is to just pause. Now, let's say somebody says something, you hear something, you have to say something, you have to react in a certain way, whichever the scenario is. The first step is to pause. Pause. What I mean by pause is stop whatever narration, whatever story is in your head, just pause it. Okay. Second one is location or locate. What I mean by this is when you're about to say something, good, bad, ugly, you will feel that there is a sensation. If it is something that is very difficult to talk about, you'll feel it in your gut. If it is something that's very emotional for you, you'll feel it in your chest. If it is something that is very that's causing you a lot of anger, you can feel your face going hot, right? So there are different sensations that we feel in our body. So locate, where is this sensation coming from? Is this coming from uh so once you look at, you have to name it. Okay, is what is this all about? Is this the tightness? Is this me being open? Am I feeling hot? Am I feeling heavy? So what happens when you talk or when you take this pause is that the whole thing changes. Alicia, I want you to add.
yeah. I feel like this will interrupt the mind's impulse,
Yeah.
because our impulsive mind creates immediate stories like we just discussed. So it will interrupt the urge to make assumptions immediately, and it will bring you back to your body's raw
Mm.
signal. Okay. So when you practice this, pause, locate, name, something important happens over here. That is, your nervous system, it will realize that it doesn't have to defend. And the moment your defense drops, guys, your accuracy will rise.
Now know that you cannot just do this once and stop. Okay.
Hmm, hmm,
Also know that you need this is the truth of the matter. Okay, you'll be
hmm,
able to experiment it, you'll be able to logically understand it, but then your body needs to feel safe. You need to feel safe in
yeah.
order for you to completely embody this and make this your own. Okay,
Hmm,
now please know that a 30-minute YouTube video will not be able to do that for you, but what we are telling you is giving you the information that it is very much possible. And whatever we are telling you is not coming out of a textbook. It is something that we have lived, that we have learned, that we have embodied, that we have also tried to resist. It has not worked. At last we gave in, and then the embodiment happened, and now it has become a part of life. Now it has become a way of life, and that is why we are sitting here and talking to you about it. That is why we have been able to understand, okay, what are the steps that you did, what are the steps that I did, in order for us to come back and tell all of you that, hey guys, this is what we did. Because understand that when you pause, okay, the first thing, when you stop the story, your nervous system is going to be like, oh fuck, this has not happened before, this is happening for the first time. Like this person, let's say Kavita has never paused before she reacts, and now she is pausing. So there's something that is happening. So what happens when you pause is there is stillness. And what Alicia explained, that when you pause and your nervous system resets, that is the stillness. That is the stillness that comes when you can sit with the sensation without translating it into fear or into fantasy. So you do this one step, and then your confusion converts into clarity.
hmm, right. So the idea is not to control the emotions, right, Priya?
Yeah.
So this is not to control your emotions. It is to catch it at the sensation level before your mind edits it. Okay. So guys, if today's episode landed for you, sit with one emotion this week and decode at it at the sensation level. Do comment below. Let us know how you felt, how You did it. And what was your experience?
And I have a request for all of you, okay? We see that a lot of you guys are viewing it, but there is no engagement. Nobody is liking, nobody is sharing. Please know that we are doing this not for our sake. We are doing this because when we went through stuff, we hardly found any material that can help us decode our emotions. We are doing this so that you get the help that you need to decode your emotions, that you get the help to understand how can I become better, how can I know myself better, how can I respond more than react. So please help us by engaging, like, share, comment, and share your thoughts, because this will also help us understand where are you stuck, what can we talk about next. So because most of the topics that we are picking up is from our own life experience, and my life experience and Alicia's life experience will be different from yours. So we request you to share your thoughts, and that is going to be the most rewarding thing of putting up this, taking this time out to create these things for you. So please engage, please have the algorithm go forth. And also I want to give you a heads up that in the next episode that we are going to be putting up, we are going to be talking in depth about why childhood emotional conditioning shapes 90% of our adult reactions, why we get into resistance, and the best part is how to rewire these patterns. So we'll see you in the next episode, which is going to be next Saturday at around 8:30 p.m. That is when we are going to drop it. And I hope to see you, and I hope to know who you are and who's engaging with us. So thank you so much for being a part of the Clarity Code series, and we will see you next Saturday. Bye bye.
Okay, bye bye.